I'm standing right over top of them.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is a great group. It's good to be with you all. My name is Marla Stillwell. I'm the County Extension Agent for Family Consumer Science here in LaRue County. And we are joined today by several homemakers in the room, but this is Bonnie Miller. Bonnie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Bonnie Miller.
Bonnie is a representative of the LaRue County Homemakers, and I've asked her to be with me on our presentation that we're doing for you all today. This is a program that we do once a month called Cooking with the Community. We've kind of changed it up a little bit this year. Last year, we called it Cooking Through the Calendar. Many of you have received a copy of it as you came in the door, but we're still cooking these recipes through the calendar this year, but we've decided to take our cooking show on the road this year. And so we are cooking at different places within the community, and we chose the Senior Center for this month. And Bonnie's going to also share a recipe in addition to the one that you'll have here in your calendar for the month of April. I will be making this recipe on this side of the table. So cowboy skillet is what we're going to be making. I asked Bonnie to look for a recipe that she would like to share with you all. It's not written down, but it's real easy to remember. So she's going to show you how to make her version of cowboy beans, yes. Which is real similar to this recipe. So we have been doing this this year, and it's been real fun to see how recipes can be very similar and ways that you can make some of your favorite things a little bit healthier. And so not to say that Bonnie's version is not a healthy version, because it is. But this is just a different spin on it, a way for you to maybe add some more vegetables into some of your favorite recipes, because we all know how important that is to get in all of those vitamins and minerals, and also making your meals balanced. And so making sure you get your servings of vegetables, your servings of fruit, grain, protein, all of those things in with each meal. And so hopefully you all have a copy of the recipe calendar. I'm going to leave extras here, so if you all have others that come in during the week, and I've always been able to share those with you all, so we're always happy to do that. But yeah, we're just going to get started. And before I forget, I wanted to mention that the homemakers have been doing something really fun the last few months here at the Senior Center that we would like to make sure we mention. For those that might be watching this later, they have been coming on the third Thursday each month. So wherever that third Thursday falls, and that starts at 10:30 on that third Thursday. 10 o'clock on the third Thursday, and they've been doing some activities here at the Senior Center. So they've done a variety of things: scrapbooking and card making and crafts and just what board games, whatever comes to mind. A concert, they've had a concert. So we invite you all to keep coming to those and invite some friends to come with you.
Well, we won't be here in May because of the big one in E-Town.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So yeah, I will mention that. Won't be here in May because of the senior celebration at Pritchard. That's right. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Bonnie. But we're excited to be here, and I am looking forward to you all getting to try this recipe. So I've also given out, or they're available over here if you didn't get one. I always try to bring another recipe that might be kind of similar to this. So cabbage jambalaya is another recipe that I brought for you all to try at home. It also uses some of these same ingredients. So if you don't like this version, maybe try a different version. So you all are getting a double whammy today. You're getting to try two things. So we're going to go ahead and start. And I always have to, bring everything with me whenever we travel and cook elsewhere. So this is not really a kitchen, but we are making it work. So Bonnie, if you want to go ahead and turn on your skillet here and hit the function button here. And we're going to turn that down just a little bit, maybe here.
I don't want to burn it.
No, we don't want to burn it. But we're going to let these skillets get preheated and get warm while we prep the rest of our ingredients. So if you want to tell them what you're going to do first, I will start getting what I'm going to do first ready.
Mine just consists of 3 ingredients, because normally it calls for green peppers, but I don't like green peppers, so I'm not putting green peppers in it. Usually if I cook with green peppers, I leave them the size of my finger, and that way I like the taste of the pepper, but I don't like the pepper. So I take the peppers out. So sorry, you're all not getting the pepper version because I don't like it. Mainly mine is just ground beef, onions, and some form of whatever kind of baked bean I have in the cabinet. It might be maple, it might be honey, it might be plain. Just whatever I have in the cabinet is the kind of bean I put in it. And Marla was nice enough to chop onion because I can't chop onions. I cheat and buy frozen chopped onions
That's okay.
because y'all would be seeing me cry the whole time.
Well, and I did do plenty of that before we got here. So,
Tell you all a way to chop onions. You don't have to take your onion and cut the bottom off, and then go all the way around your onion with your knife, and then turn it over and cut it. Fine, it just comes out in little pieces.
yeah, that's a great tip there. Thank you. I have also learned that if we chill our onions ahead of time, it kind of slows that enzyme down that's in the onion that makes you cry. So if you have an issue with that, trying to get them cold first helps too. When you cook ground beef, you kind of know when it's done because we are looking for that to no longer be pink inside. The smoked sausage is already a little bit pre-cooked, so you don't have to worry so much about the food safety aspect of your smoked sausages. So we're going to let that brown up while we prep some other ingredients. Now, Bonnie's version has less ingredients, but like she said, you can always add in the bell pepper, other seasonings and spices that you might want to put in there. I've seen this made with barbecue sauce and other condiments like ketchup, mustard that you can add to give it a little bit more of a wang, is what I always like to say. But the baked beans are going to have some of that already naturally in there anyway.
I like to put brown sugar in my bacon.
Brown sugar. Well, these are actually already flavored with brown sugar, so
Yeah, brown sugar
hopefully
hickory.
you'll get that. Not enough, yeah, but brown sugar would be another thing you could add. So I am going to do a bell pepper in this version. We've brought some handouts today on vitamin A, and so you do get a lot of your vitamins and minerals, such as vitamin A, from your colored vegetables. So we're using a red bell pepper today. You can also use any of the other colors as well: green, yellow, orange. They have purple now. All kinds of colors. The more colorful, the better, is what I've always thought.
I read this week that the red pepper has more nutrients and vitamins than any of the other colors.
Oh, well, there you go. I planned that on purpose then, didn't I? So we're just chopping this about the same size as our onions. When you do that, you're allowing everything to kind of cook at the same time, at the same rate. So I'm going to give this another stir. If you feel like that needs to go up higher, you can turn it up this way, if it's not hot enough for you.
That 1,000 messes with me. I don't know what that is. I'm like, surely I ain't.
That's how much power. If you want to change it to temp, it'll show you the temperature. Can you all smell those onions cooking? Pretty fragrant, isn't it? So that just takes a few minutes.
There's an onion on the rim.
That's okay. Was that for me?
No, it was me.
Okay. Some of the other ingredients that are in this version of our cowboy skillet, we are going to be adding in cooked rice. So we've already pre-cooked that before we got here, just because I knew we were going to be limited on equipment. And so we've already cooked that rice ahead of time. So that's going to be the next thing that I add is the rice, the pepper. We're also adding in some frozen corn. So this is to show you that you can add just any kind of vegetable that you want the flavor of in here. And the more vegetables, the more color you're getting in there, the better. So this also has corn and then black beans also. So we are putting some beans in ours as well. You're getting lots of fiber from the beans. So even in Bonnie's version of hers, those beans are giving you not only the protein, but the fiber is what's so important when you're eating beans.
And see, and I have to focus on protein because I've had weight loss surgery. So I have to focus more on the protein than I do the other stuff. A lot of eggs, a lot of chicken, some tuna. I mean, I can eat any meat I want to, but we have to focus on protein first. So I eat a lot of cheese, but I eat so many eggs, I feel like I could be a chicken.
Speaking of eggs, this recipe, and I ended up not bringing the eggs after all, but there's a suggestion on the recipe, and you may notice it in your calendar, in the wording, that you can turn this one into more of a breakfast dish by adding eggs. And I was going to do that today, but we ran off and left the eggs, so we're not going to do the eggs. But it suggested frying those eggs and serving this with an egg on top. So since Bonnie brought eggs up, that's another way you can get in a lot of good protein, is by adding eggs into just about anything that you like. You could scramble them too and add them in if you're not a fried egg fan. But I did forget the eggs, so we're not going to be doing that today. But if you try this at home, you'll have to give it a try and see what you think. Is yours coming along okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to cook some of the grease off of it.
Yeah, and we're going to need to drain that off, aren't we? Didn't think about that in advance.
I usually just turn it up and let it cook off.
We do have a colander there if you want to drain it off, just for the sake of time.
Nah, it's good. A lot of it's cooking off.
So the smoked sausage has absorbed a lot of that oil that we put in there, and all of these pieces are starting to brown pretty nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the rest of our ingredients, which is what I've been prepping over here. We're going to add in the cooked rice, the corn, the bell pepper, and the beans, and a little bit of garlic powder to our skillet here.
Oh, hush, I know.
I did go ahead and pre-measure the corn. This is a cup of frozen corn. You could, of course, add more if you'd like. We're going to do a can of black beans. These have been rinsed and drained, just to take a little bit of that sodium off of there. You can also buy no salt black beans too. Sometimes those are a little bit harder to find, so we just rinsed and drained those. So now you can see those colors starting to show up. So just imagine if you'd have used green or orange or yellow, it would give this a whole different look. As it looks a little different than the picture, because I think they used a green bell pepper. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. See how easy that is, though? And it makes so much, and this is going to be such a filling dish. So, Bonnie, what have you done over here? You've drained your grease.
Drained the grease and just adding some baked beans. Trying to get them out.
And we're going to see how much room we have for the beans. If we don't have room for all of them, we may not add them all, but I'll let her decide how much room she's got.
I've already been throwing onions everywhere.
That's all right. So this just needs to cook until heated through, and then we're going to season with salt and pepper before we serve this up. This is all in addition to adding the eggs for more protein. It also suggests adding some of the toppings that you would like on a taco, so that kind of makes it more of a Tex-Mex dish. We did bring some shredded cheese to put on top today for you all, but it also suggested green onions, which there's already quite a bit of onion in here, but green onions would be really good on top. It even suggested avocados or hot sauce, which Linda, I'll say, brought some hot sauce for us to try if you would like to put some hot sauce on yours. But just adding any other toppings like that on it would, you know, depending on what you like, would be appropriate for something like this. I don't think I really talked about the rice that I added either. Oh, that looks really good, Monty. Looks really nice. You want to turn it up to get it to simmer a little bit more?
Well, I didn't know how much longer you had.
It's almost done.
Okay.
When using rice in recipes, and those of you that have been to our classes before, we've always suggested an easy switch to something that's considered whole grain is using brown rice instead of white rice. Brown rice is considered a whole grain, which is better for your digestive system. It gives you more fiber intake, and so it's a healthier alternative, and it's something that you won't really notice much of a change in your recipes so next time you're using rice in a recipe, switch to brown rice and see if you can even tell the difference. It's going to give you a lot more nutrition than a white rice would.
I didn't hear all of it. I wasn't paying attention to all of it. Did you say, does it digest better?
Well, anything that has more fiber is going to help you digest.
Wheat bread, your system will digest better than
because of the
bread.
whole grains.
Yeah.
Yes. So an easy switch. But that's pretty much it for this recipe. You all saw how simple it was. We're going to let Bonnie's get a little bit warmer. I think it needs a little bit more time to simmer. And when I've made a version of this before, the longer it simmers, the better it is, in my opinion. So this is more of a skillet. It's a little drier. It doesn't have as much sauce as this one. So this one, we just needed to heat it through until it was ready to serve. The only thing we really had to cook were those onions and the sausage to give it a little bit of a brown to it. But do you all have any questions or comments you'd like to add to what we've shown you how to make today? We appreciate you all being here. And we are trying something new also this year, and you've probably seen the video camera in the room. We're going to be having this air on YouTube. We've started a YouTube channel, so if you ever can't make it in person, check us out on our YouTube channel that we'll be sharing on our social media pages soon. So you all should be able to catch us on there. That's something that our new program assistant is taking on and working on. So I appreciate Rachel's efforts. Anything else you want to add?
We are having our bazaar at the extension office on Saturday. It's the Homemaker Spring Bazaar. I have 23 vendors lined up. Rick's Grill on Wheels is going to be there. Also, I already have the November one planned for November 21st. I've already scheduled our Veterans Appreciation Day. Marla's working on a type of health fair. And anybody that wants to come to Homemakers, we meet the first Thursday at 1 or the third Tuesday at 10:30 at the extension office.
And we also have an evening program or club too. We did bring some information about Homemakers if you're interested in membership and our schedule of some of our activities that we have. So feel free to grab one of those brochures and let us know if you have any questions. So thank you all so much for being here. We're going to let this cool off enough to where we can serve you and you all can sample up and tell us what you think.